Sending it. Test, test, test. Should be working. Okay, let me check over there, see how we're doing. And we're live over on the Stamp Price channel after like 3 months. We're back. How about that? There we go. Fantastic. I have some delicious corn here I'm going to eat. Until we're starting that stream. Javen Fishing Truck, what's up, man? There we go. We got some people popping in. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some tunage on. I'll do some different tunage that I don't get in trouble for. I know I have a go-to that I like to go to. Go-to that I like to go to. That sounds redundant. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Fish and Tuck. We got YB Love At. What's up, dudes? All right, let's get some chat moving around, shall we? I'm just gonna move this over here kind of tiny. Let's move over Twitch. And then we'll bust open this guy. Pop out chat. There we go. Vibes indeed, man. Just gonna chill for a little bit and kind of get a feel for what type of poll we have on this YouTube channel. I haven't streamed on this channel in a minute. So like some like Nazi dudes were donating a bunch of like crazy donations that were like super foul. And I banned them, and then they did chargebacks on these huge donations, and then it fucked over my channel and made it to where I couldn't get a lot of views. So I just stopped for a while. The name's Bong. James Bong. What's up, man? J-Dub in the chat. Semper Fi, motherfucker. So far, seems pretty good. People popping in, bro. I never saw one of those before. What do you mean, a stream? Oh, a Nazi. I'd never seen them before either. I'd never seen them before. I'm not like, I don't call people Nazis because I don't like them or something, but these were like legit ones though. Like real ones. Yeah, the rare ones, the ones that aren't like super common, like the rare ones. Yeah, no, it was legit, dude. I'm like righty as fuck, dude. Like, well, I wouldn't say righty as fuck. I got like some lefty values. You know, I'm mixed bag, but I'm pretty righty, you know, like I like Trump. I don't really have anything against the guy. Like all this bullshit doesn't matter, bro. All that matters is winning. But no, there was like actual, like, yeah, like rare Pokemon style, like rare, like real life fucking Nazi dudes that hate Jews. You know, like it was really bad. So the next time that happens and they start donating a bunch of like anti-Semitic stuff, I don't even like using that word, bro. Like I don't fucking just throw these words around. I don't, like, I'm using them now because like something crazy fucking happened, right? Like I don't fucking sit around using these words ever. I don't think I've ever said the word anti-Semitic out loud. I've only ever heard it on YouTube, to be fair. Like seriously. But yeah, like if that happens, then what I'll do is I'll just I can hit X on the donation so it goes away off the top, and okay, they donated the money, it was up there and now it's gone. Like the little message, it doesn't stay up there, and I just won't read it out loud. And then I won't acknowledge it, you know, instead of being like, what the fuck, dude, like you're banned and all this kind of shit, making a big deal out of it, causing them to get my channel in trouble, you know. I like Trump, yeah. But people that don't like Trump, I don't give a shit. I mean, it doesn't, I'm not going to judge you because of that. Literally don't give a fuck. You can like him or not like him. And that's not like, liking Trump is not like, a metric I use to see if I like somebody or not. I measure other things. Yo, what up? Hey, people are starting to pop in a little bit over here. So I'm just going to finish up this food. We're going to listen to some tunes. And then I'm going to start watching some Trump videos. So, executive order is a bill signing, not an executive order, but a bill signing, making deep fake porn illegal. So you can't like put someone's face on porn. It's illegal in the United States. I think it's gonna be a federal law, which I think is a great thing. With AI, it's out of control. You can take someone's face and make them do anything. So this law making it illegal, I think, is a step in the right direction because it's out of control. And like all these kids are using it on other kids in school and shit. It's getting out of control. Definitely needs to be outlawed. So we're gonna watch that bill signing. It does a 30-minute law enforcement event. 41-minute Kennedy board. Dude, Trump's been busy. And then a 22-minute massive announcement with the Secretary of Defense. Trump is awesome. We love him. Yeah, I love Trump too. I think he's hilarious. I don't think he's that horrible of a president, to be honest. I think he's actually a pretty fast-moving president. And I think that he's setting some precedent on like what people can expect presidents to do when they get in charge to like make progress and stuff. So we're going to see people follow, lefties and righties, follow in Trump's footsteps on trying to be the guy that looks like he gets shit done. Because obviously Trump is making it pretty apparent that that's one thing that people like. They like to feel like the president is accomplishing things. So, I mean, and that's something that we've never really had. Like they make all these promises and then nothing happens. And it's been happening for like 200 years. Lightning McQueen, hate him. Hate him. All right. Lightning McQueen was a person that went trans car. It was formerly a person, now is a car. No, I don't give a fuck. I love Lightning McQueen. All right, let's do this. Bomb. All right, first Trump stream. Let's go. Let's see if the viewers start flowing in. People love the Trump.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States and First Lady Melania Trump.
Yeah. What's up? There he is, the man and the lady. The First Lady. Is there a second lady? Hey, friendly reminder to like my man Stan, top 3 dot button. Yo, what's up? Or you telling them to hit the like button? Yeah, like button. Like button is always good. That helps out. Get this corn out of my fucking teeth.
Good afternoon and welcome to the White House.
What's up, true patriots?
It's an honor to join you here today for the signing of the Take It Down Act.
Hell yeah.
A national victory that will help parents and families protect children from online exploitation.
Facts, dude. We need this so bad.
This legislation is a powerful step forward in our efforts
Volume
to
levels
ensure
okay?
that
Am I too
every
loud?
American, especially young people, can feel better protected from their image or identity being abused through non-consensual or intimate imagery of I and CII. Artificial intelligence and social media are the digital candy for the next generation. sweet, addictive, and engineered to have an impact on the cognitive development of our children. But unlike sugar, these new technologies can be weaponized, shape beliefs, and sadly affect emotions and even be deadly.
I agree with everything she's saying so far.
Over the past few months, I have met with brave survivors, deeply loving families.
I have some candy in here that's making me cough.
Advocates who know firsthand the emotional and psychological toll of NCII and deepfake.
Yeah, imagine that happening to you. That would be so disgusting, dude.
Alliston Berry stood boldly for change, despite
Their
the
sound
risk
can go up.
posed to her and her family by speaking out and making her voice heard.
Max, I got all I got.
Alliston, your voice and the voices of so many like you made this bill a national priority.
Priority.
Many thanks to
Like the way she
members
says
of
that.
Congress, both parties, for passing this legislation, including Speaker Johnson, Senator Cruz, Senator Klobuchar, Congresswoman Salazar, Congresswoman Dean, and Congressman Guthrie, and so many more. Thank you all for coming together to prioritize people over politics.
Hell yeah. It's a good one. Good bill.
As First Lady, my Be Best initiative
I could turn myself down
is
a little bit.
focused on improving children's well-being,
There we go.
encouraging
Should be matched a little bit
kindness,
better.
and creating a safer online environment for our youth. Today, I'm proud to say that the values of Be Best will be reflected in the law of the land. I want to thank my husband, President Trump, for standing with us on this effort. His signature on this new law is not where our work ends.
I like the
on
blue
this
ties,
issue.
looking good. Let me move it over a little
we
bit
look
so you
to
guys
the
can see.
Federal Trade Commission and the private sector to do their part.
Yeah, do your part, God damn it.
Today, through the Take It Down Act, we affirm that the well-being of our children is central to our future of
For a
our
little bit.
families and America. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the President. Thank you.
Oh, here comes the man.
Thank you, honey. Good job, sweetie. You want to sit down?
Yeah.
Great job. That was a great job. Well, I want to thank everybody. We just spent 2.5 hours talking to Vladimir Putin.
Test,
And I
test,
think
test,
some
test.
progress has been made. It's a
All right.
terrible situation.
He's a little louder than she
going
is.
on over there. 5,000 young people every single week are being killed.
Chat saying hi to you, Brittany.
So hopefully we did something. We also spoke to the heads of most of the European nations, and we're trying to get that whole thing wrapped up. What a shame that it ever started in the first place. So, but I want to thank Melania and for your leadership in this very important issue. It's an amazing issue. America is blessed to have such a dedicated and compassionate First Lady. I would tell you she is very dedicated. In fact, if you look at just what I heard, Putin just said they respect your wife a lot. I said, what about me? No, they like Melania better.
Yeah, they do.
That wasn't good. I don't know if that was good. I'm okay with it. I'm okay.
He's so funny,
I also
dude.
want to congratulate the First Lady in securing $25 million in the first fiscal year, 2026, budget to provide housing and support for youth transitioning out of the foster care. And I can say that she loves children, and you really worked very hard on this, and you had a lot of help from some friends of mine.
That's right. Get
right
back
here,
to
and,
work.
a lot of the senators
back
are
to
here,
work.
and congressmen, and I appreciate you all being here. We're also grateful to be joined by people that are just in love with what we're doing. It's such an important situation, and commissioners of the Federal Trade Commission and the CEO of X, Linda Yaccarino. Where are you, Linda? Where
Oh,
are
no
you,
shit,
Linda?
she's there.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Stand up.
She's done a
Thank
good
you,
job with
Linda.
X.
Great job. You're doing a great
She
job.
took over for Elon Musk. She's been
Big
doing great.
deal, right? That's great. Today, it's my honor to officially sign the Take It Down Act into law. It's a big thing, very important. So
See you,
horrible
Lisa.
what
Thanks for hanging out.
takes place. This will be the first ever federal law to combat the distribution of explicit, imaginary, posted without subjects' consent. They take horrible pictures, and I guess sometimes even make up the pictures, and they post it without consent or anything else. And very importantly, this includes for forgeries generated by artificial intelligence known as deepfakes. We've all heard about deepfakes. I have them all the time, but nobody does anything. I asked Pam, can you help me, Pam? She says, no, I'm too busy doing other things. Don't worry, you'll survive. But a lot of people don't survive. That's true, and so horrible. With the rise of AI image generation, countless women have been harassed with deepfakes and other explicit images distributed against their will. This is the wrong.
It's terrible.
It's just so horribly wrong. And it's a very abusive situation, like in some cases people have never seen before. And today we're making it totally illegal.
For anyone to be against this just because it's Trump is so bad, bro. But there's
Thank
people that will never
Upon
agree
hearing
with
the
anything.
stories of so many women affected, our First Lady made stopping these abuses a top priority, and she was given tremendous support because she'd go up to people and talk about it. They say, yeah, we know about it. We have the problem. Can we do something? And she did something about it with the help of a lot of the people, especially the political people sitting here today. Among Melania's guests in the gallery during my address to the joint session of Congress was a 15-year-old young person, Elliston Berry, whose image was turned into an illicit deepfake by a peer. Elliston, where are you? Are you around? Stand up, darling. That's fine. Beautiful.
We're back in business with streaming on Shorts on the Stan
Great,
Price
thank
channel.
you.
We just cracked
Fantastic.
100 viewers.
Ellison quickly became a powerful
thank you
advocate
guys for watching.
committed to preventing other girls from suffering the same abuse. Elliston, we salute
Bye,
you
Lisa.
and we thank you very much, and it's an honor to have you with us today. Great job you've done. Also with us are several other brave Americans whose lives were rocked by online harassment, including Francesca Manny, as well as a South Carolina State Representative, Brandon Guffey, and his family, who have lost their son to suicide after he was targeted in an internet extortion scam, of which you have a lot of them, a lot. I want to thank you both for your incredible work and to reach this important day. Could you stand up, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. Great job. I've read about it. Thank you very much.
Damn, dude.
Real honor to have you here.
Some nasty things going on
There's
online.
no place like the White House, I found out. You know, you have a lot of places, and I just left some of the richest places, and we loved them, and they gave us a nice contribution of about $5 trillion, but this is a special place. Even they talk about it, so it's great to have everybody here. Under the law, I will sign in just a moment. Anyone who intentionally distributes explicit images without the subject's consent will face up to 3 years in prison. In
Good.
addition, this law establishes new civil liabilities for online platforms that refuse to take these images down promptly upon request. We will not tolerate online sexual exploitation, and especially it's gone on at levels that nobody's ever seen before. It's getting worse and worse, and I think this is going to hopefully stop it. And not easy to do. People talked about all sorts of First Amendment, Second Amendment. They talked about any amendment they could make up, and we got it through because of some very brave people, including some very brave politicians in the audience. I want to thank the bill's sponsor, Senator Ted Cruz. Ted, stand up, please.
Stand up, bitch.
Great. Thank you, Ted. That's great.
He's looking
Very
good.
effective person.
He's better with a beard.
Congresswoman Maria Salazar, friend of mine. Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much.
Yeah, anybody against this bill is
For their
literally brain
amazing
dead.
work, and thanks also to the 99 senators and 408 members of Congress who voted in favor of the bill. Wow, I wish we could get that vote from other things. We have another bill coming up. Do you think we'll get that vote?
Yeah, Democrats
Maybe
are like,
not.
dude,
We
I can't
should,
be
but we
against this
probably
vote.
won't.
This one's too obvious.
But working with our First Lady, we've shown that bipartisanship is still possible. That's true. With 99 senators, that's incredible. Senators, stand up. Look at that. John, you're here. Look at all of the senators. This is big stuff. I'm in trouble because I don't have your names. They didn't give me these names. We have so many. We have half of the Senate here. Now they're all going to hate me because I can't introduce you. We don't have the time for that. I have to get back to Putin and people. But thank you very much for being here, all of you, and congressmen, a lot of them, and women. Working with our First Lady, though, we've shown that bipartisanship is possible. I mean, it's the first time I've seen such a level of bipartisanship.
So funny, dude.
It's a beautiful thing to do. I'm not even sure you realize, honey, you know, a lot of the Democrats and Republicans don't get along so well. You've made them get along, and she didn't even know about that. She didn't know we had a problem. She didn't know we had a problem. She got a... But I want to thank you, honey. You've done amazing that this was done when you started. And I said, I don't know, it sounds like a tough one, and yet a very important one, and you got it done. So I congratulate you, and I congratulate Ted, Maria, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you, and we'll sign the bill. Thank you.
Can't stand Ted Cruz. Remember that picture, that video of him trying to kiss his daughter years ago? Like he was trying to, it looked really weird. I don't have anything against the guy. It was just not a good looking video or picture. Darren, what's up, man? JJ, OGD, The Shot, Problem Game, Solo King, Will. Appreciate you guys being here. We have a couple more things that we're going to watch. We're catching up on Trump stuff, and then hopefully starting tomorrow, I can stream this stuff live or close to being live. We'll see what happens. Yeah, time to sign this bill. Let's go. Let's get it signed. Now, I did see one clip from this, so this is my first time watching this whole thing. But I did see one clip on Twitter, and it's about to happen right now. And I thought this was so cool. Classy. Classy.
You want to sign it in? Come on, sign it anyway. She deserves to sign it.
Yeah, I just thought that was classy. You still listen to Howard Stern too? I listened to him when I was a kid. My dad listened to him, so I listened to him. That was some funny shit, Howard Stern. I guess he's still going.
Much, everyone, and you have some pens here. You most importantly, right?
Yeah.
Grab one of them. Oh, look at these white pens. I've never seen that before. I want one of them. I've never seen it. Here, Pamela, take that. Take that. Thank you very much, everybody.
Got to take the pens. I want one of those.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. You go ahead.
Mr. President, let me introduce you
Look at that. That's cool.
to his son, Gavin.
Let me get up.
State legislator in South Carolina. Has been incredibly brave, and his whole family. Thank you so much.
Got to do all the meet and greet, you know? But, oh, I should probably mute my Discord shit. Hold on. Flap. Okay. And then he's just do any more speaking? No? He's getting out of there. He's got to go talk to Putin. Okay. So, we're caught up on that one. Now we got to do a law and order enforcement event. Let's jump in.
Very much, everybody. It's
There it is.
a
Let's
real
go.
honor to welcome all of you to the White House, the famous Oval Office, and we award the first ever Medals of Sacrifice to 3 heroic law enforcement officers from Palm Beach County, Florida.
Is that from a recent event?
I went to the service. It was crazy. It was just horrible. Earlier today, Congressman Brian Mast, who's right here, introduced a bill to ensure this new medal will be awarded to any law enforcement officer or first responder who gives his or her life in the line of duty. I also want to recognize Laura and Eric Trump for their work to make this medal reality. Thank you, Laura, and thank you.
I see you guys
Eric.
in the chat.
Appreciate it very much.
Just listening to the man.
Thanks as well to Attorney General Pam Bondi, who's with us. Pam, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So busy. She's so busy, but you wouldn't miss it. Secret Service Director Sean Curran. Sean, wherever you may be. Hi, Sean. Congressman Byron Donalds, State Representative Meg Weinberger, and Dan Newland. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Byron.
Who's giving out medals, huh?
Really great that you're here. I also want to express our gratitude to Major Paul Verkota. Where is Paul? Paul? Thank you,
Zangief.
Paul.
Yeah, I'm like Zangief.
Captain Ryan Mugridge. Thank you, Captain. Lieutenant Shandon Hood. Thank you, Shandon. Sergeant Scott Yoder. Thank you very much.
What's this speech
Deputy
about?
Sheriff Christopher Farron. Thank you very much, Christopher. And Deputy Sheriff Chris Cameron. Thank you very much. Thank you. And all of the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. We have many people here representing that incredible office. I know it very well. Very special thanks as well to Alexander Arnault, who's a tremendous person with his father, who they own Tiffany, and they really devoted a tremendous time and effort to helping us design this beautiful medal. And thank you very much.
So it's medals he's giving out.
Came all the way from
law
France.
Enforcement. Okay.
And the incredible team at Tiffany and Company, and
National
Tiffany
Law
is doing
Enforcement
great.
Week. Thanks, Will.
He's a fantastic leader. You know all about the fantastic, the great Arnault family, and the fact that you came for this is a very, very meaningful. Actually, it's really incredible.
Yep. I haven't streamed on this channel in a few
For
months.
crafting this beautiful medal, and
But
I
I'm
know
back.
he looked at it and he worked on it. He had his best people working on it, and people are loving it.
I needed
and this
a
will
Reese's.
go on for a long time. You'll be making that medal for a long time. Unfortunately, in one way, it's very sad, but we properly respect the ones that have lost their lives. Today, we also remember 3 remarkable heroes who will become the medal's first ever recipients. It's a big honor. Corporal Luis Piez Jr., Deputy Sheriff Ralph Butch Waller Jr., and Deputy Sheriff Ignacio Dan Diaz. And thank you very much. You're represented by family members who are, I was there with them. That was devastation. They were devastated. We're profoundly grateful to be joined by their loved ones. Corporal Piez's former wife, Doris. Thank you, Doris, for being with us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So respectful.
And his son, Cameron.
Love it.
Good-looking son, too. Deputy Waller's wife, Denise. Thank you, Denise, very much. And Deputy Diaz's daughter, Alexandria. Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to thank you all. And the 3 officers we recognize today were close friends. They were really close friends and colleagues. And together they dedicated their lives to protecting the people of Palm Beach County and well beyond. And they were beloved by everyone and respected by all. Really, really top-of-the-line people. Countless times when I was in Florida, they proudly saved. And they saved a lot of lives. They were going around saving a lot of lives. Their reputation was incredible. They served in motorcades for presidents, called presidential motorcades, a very dangerous job, actually. And I was deeply honored to attend their memorial service last year. In a horrific accident in November, the 3 officers were working to restart one of their motorcycles on the shoulder of a road when they were struck by a SUV, struck dead center, and all 3 perished from their injuries. Essentially, they perished immediately. This was a terrible tragedy. It shook the entire Palm Beach community like very, very few events I've ever seen. All of Florida mourned their loss, and today our entire nation joins in honoring these 3 incredible patriots taken from us much too soon, much, much too soon. To Doris, Cameron, Denise, Alexandria, and to all of those who love these brave men, we are deeply sorry for your loss and eternally grateful for their sacrifice, their great, great sacrifice, just respected by everybody. We'll never forget their legacy, and we will never forget the debt we owe all of these great law enforcement heroes who have given their lives to keep our community safe and make America strong again. We have so many unbelievable people in the police department and other departments, first responders, firemen, a lot of brave, incredible people. And I'd now like to ask my son, Eric Trump, to say a few words, followed by Congressman Brian Mast, and Alexander Arnault is going to be giving out the medals. And then I'll present the medals of sacrifice. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for being here, too. Thank you. Please.
Mr. President, thank you very much. My father and I attended that funeral that day, and I can't tell you how moving that experience was. And one simple question was asked.
He sounds
why
like...
is there no medal of valor, medal of sacrifice that commemorates law enforcement officers, first responders who have fallen in the line of duty? And Congressman Mast, he was there with me that day. He was with my father, and we said, we're going to take care of this problem.
Doesn't he sound like
We're gonna get
JFK, kind of?
involved. And the first call that was made was to the great Arnault family who owns Tiffany's, and they said, without hesitation, that they'd be honored to design something absolutely beautiful that's a tribute to these incredible officers, these incredible
He sounds
EMS
passionate.
responders. And here we are, roughly 6 months later, with something that's truly beautiful.
He's like quivering.
I want to
you know?
thank the Tiffany's family, the Arnault family, for all the work they've put into in their entire team. I can tell you this has been a nonstop effort. I want to thank the congressman. Without the congressman, his staff, we would not be here today. I want to thank the president for allowing us to do this. It's such an important mission. This medal is going to be given for hundreds and hundreds of years to come. And last but not least, I want to send, on behalf of this entire nation, on behalf of our entire family, the incredible families of the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office and your incredible families. They made the ultimate sacrifice and know that we all appreciate their dedication. Many of us knew them, have met them, and we love them very much, and I'm sure they're missed. But today, hopefully, this is a great tribute to them, and I know because of our wonderful president that this medal will be given out for many years to come. Thank you very much.
I would just start by thanking all of our law enforcement officers. The job is always dangerous, and you do it still every single day. And I would thank the families, because the job, as you are a reminder of, is often deadly. And I would thank you, Mr. President, because for the first time in our nation's history, you're willing to say to all of our first responders, all of our law enforcement, all of our firefighters, we're going to recognize that sacrifice from the office of the presidency for each and every one of them. And that's never taken place before, that recognition, that it's a job that's always dangerous and often deadly, and there's a debt that can never be repaid, but you're willing to recognize that debt. So thank you, Mr. President, for recognizing the debt.
Thank you.
Mr. President, Congressman, thank you very much for involving Tiffany in this process. We're very honored to having made these medals. Tiffany is a jeweler, as everyone knows it, but also a maker of American heritage. We were making the Medal of Honor in the 19th and early 20th century, and it's only natural that we followed with this heritage, just as we work on other very important American heirlooms.
The same guys that made the Medal of Honor are making this. That's badass.
In our largest factory in the U.S., out of silver, plated in 24-karat gold, just like the ceiling of this office, and represents the coat of arms of the United States. Mr. President, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Byron?
Yeah, he's tall as shit, dude. No lie.
First, to be brief, to the families, we are so sorry for your sacrifice, but your officer from your family represented not just Palm Beach County, but the United States with honor. Mr. President, thank you for allowing us to go forward. To my colleague, Congressman Mast, thank you for your leadership. We will always honor first responders in the United States of America.
Thanks. Okay.
Oh, he's not saying anything.
You want to help us
Other
out with
side.
this?
I'm trying not to interrupt them too much. So I'm only talking like when I get a moment like this. But what's up, dudes? I see you all in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Look at that. That looks awesome.
So can we ask the families?
That's a beautiful medal.
Sheriff, would you like to help us with that? Come, please.
Why am I watching this? This is like my more politics and current events and stuff like this type of channel. Is that like a sun?
First families.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
What's up, Vlander? I see you in the chat. I see everyone in the chat. That's a beautiful medal.
Okay, I'm going to stand right over here. Okay. I gotta get me.
Yeah, look at that. That's incredible. Good things, you know? We need to... I mean, the police aren't perfect all the time. But also, like, there's just more like anti-police than ever, you know, and it's understandable in a lot of ways because there's, you know, there are injustices that happen. It's not fair. But law and order is important. That's why we have this awesome country we get to live in, and it's not just pure chaos all the time.
I'd like to thank you very much for honoring my husband and his brothers and for what you do for the country.
That's sad, dude.
Making this so very special for them and for all the people to come. It's a club you never want to be in,
No.
but you've honored them, and it just means the world. Thank you. Thank you for
That's
everything.
great.
Who's cutting onions, bro?
Appreciate it.
The fuck?
Thank you.
Knock that shit off. It's a serious moment, all right? We're not trying to like the onions right now.
Come on over here.
Come on over here. To the mic. Right here.
I viewed my dad as Superman, someone my whole life you look up to. He's an amazing guy, and it's horrible that this happened to all three families. But I'm glad that something was done about it, and we got represented, and everyone in the future will be. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We'd be very proud of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
No, I don't always stand when I stream, but I did recently get a standing desk because I'm fat as shit and I'm trying not to die in my fucking chair by being a content creator the rest of my life. So I'm gonna be a standing content creator now. It's gonna make me live longer.
Would you like to say anything, fellas, on behalf of the force? Would you like to say something? Some very tough.
What's up, Neeson Gaming SC over there?
Would you like to say something, please?
Mr. President, on behalf of Sheriff Rick Bradshaw and every member of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, we can't thank you enough for taking the lead on this and recognizing the extreme sacrifice of our three brothers. Words really can't express how thankful we are.
Thank you very much. And we have a fourth, and we're going to give this to you. Hopefully, it's maybe never going to be given out. So we'll give it to Sheriff Bradshaw, who's an incredible sheriff. And you've done an amazing job, and we'll have it should something happen. And that's right here, okay? So,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
and I hope it never has to be given out, frankly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you. Do you have any questions for what you just saw? That's so important. I mean, people have talked about it for years. I want to thank Brian Mass for what he's done, Congressman. He's been unbelievable. He's a great representative. And he worked hard. He wanted to do it right, and we wanted to go somehow. We could get him done pretty easily in one way, but we wouldn't get him done by Tiffany. And the fact that the Arnault family stepped up was absolutely incredible. It means more when you get a name like that. I think it means something extra. But these were incredible people, and they're looking down on you right now, and they're very, very proud, very, very proud of all of you. And it's too bad we had to be doing this, but I was there with you that day. That was a rough day. Thank you very much. Would you have any questions? Yeah.
Do you have plans to give this award to any other families posthumously find themselves in the same position as having
Good question.
this sacrifice? And then after the test, one question about your calls back.
Having to do from a previous? We're looking at the possibility of that.
Yeah, retroactive medals.
You had a lot of people die in the line of duty when you think of it. And we figured it was time to start. We haven't had the situation arise. This was a terrible situation. We haven't had it arise yet, but we're looking at going back a little bit and see what we can do about that. Yes, we'll strongly. Yeah, go ahead.
On your call with President Putin today,
Yeah.
you mentioned that the Pope would like to take a role potentially in mediating these talks. Does that mean that the U.S. is taking a step back from?
No, no, no. I think it would be great to have it at the Vatican. Maybe it would have some extra significance. And I saw that it was discussed yesterday, so I thought, and people told me that they'd be honored to do it. I would imagine they would be. So, no, I think it would be maybe helpful. There's tremendous bitterness, anger, and I think maybe that could help some of that anger. So having it at the Vatican would be, in Rome, would be I think it would be a great idea. Thank you.
Mr. President, as you know,
Can I say?
Go ahead.
Mr. President, as you know, 2.5 months ago, Ukraine President Zelensky agreed to that 30-day ceasefire that's been on the table all of that time. What was the extent of your conversation with President Putin today about having him agree to that same 30-day ceasefire proposal that you, Mr. President, put on the table?
Well, what we've done, and very strongly, is we said, let's get this thing going. You know, I had many of the leaders of European nations on the line with me right after the call. And we have to get that thing solved. 5,000 young people every single week on average. And I've seen satellite pictures. You don't want to see these pictures. We'll have to see what happens. This was not my war. This is not a war that would have happened if I were president. This is not my war. I'm just here to try and help.
Of course he had said
We've
that.
spent
He always
hundreds
says
of
that.
billions
Every
of dollars
speech. I love
on
it.
this war. And yet that's not, frankly, we made much more than that just in 4 days in the Middle East. It's a lot of money, but we do much. This is about thousands of people dying every single week. 5,000, 6,000 people dying every single week. And just like you have the relatives here, wives and children and everything, you have, these soldiers, they say goodbye in Ukraine and in Russia, and then their parents never see them again, except maybe in pictures of horrible scenes, because I've seen some scenes, I've never seen anything like it. So we're going to see if we can get it taken care of. Yeah, please.
First off, our thanks to the members of law enforcement who are here, and our condolences to the families. We're very sorry for your loss. Mr. President, on Ukraine and on your call today that you had with
Hell yeah,
President
I love
Putin,
lesbians
you said
too.
last week that you thought nothing was going to happen, no advances would be made until you and Putin got together. Do you still feel that way?
I think something's going to happen. It's a got very big egos involved, I tell you. Big egos involved. But I think something's going to happen. And if it doesn't, I'd just back away and they're going to have to keep going. Again, this was a European situation. It should have remained a European situation. Should have remained. But we have, because the past administration felt very strongly that we should be involved, and we got involved much more than Europe did in terms of the money and all of the things that we gave. We gave massive amounts, I think record-setting amounts given to a foreign. There's never been anything like this, both weaponry and money. And Europe gave a lot also, but they didn't give anywhere near what we gave. We gave probably almost 3 times the amount. And it's just a shame. The whole thing is a shame. The level of death here is
Which
just
branch
a
was
shame.
I in? I was in the Marines.
Did you ask President Putin to meet with you
About what?
about Ukraine?
Yeah, of course I did. I talked to him about it. I said, when are we going to end this, Vladimir? I know him for a long time now. I said, when are we going to end this bloodshed, this bloodbath? It's a bloodbath. And I do believe he wants to end it. You know, when I made the call, I told the people last night, I spoke to the heads of the different countries, Germany and Finland. We had Italy, as you know, and UK.
Doesn't Italy have the hot prime minister?
And a couple of others.
There's like
and
one country
they
has this
were
hot
in
prime
turn
minister.
calling everyone. Ursula was there from the European Union. She was terrific. And we spoke for a long time about it. And they got a problem. It's a big, big problem. It's a terrible war. It's a very hard to extradite themselves away from what's taken place over there. The amount of anger, the amount of hate, and the amount of death. It's very hard, very tough situation. But I said to him, we got to get going. And I did say also, if I thought that you couldn't do it, I'd step away, because what are you going to do? We don't have boots on the ground. We wouldn't have boots on the ground. but we do have a big stake, and the financial amount that was put up is just crazy. It's crazy. This isn't for us. This is for somebody else.
That's the Prime Minister of Italy. That's not bad, bro.
Money that we put up is record-setting. There's never been anything like this. And that includes weapons. Never been anything like this.
For
Yes,
Prime
please.
Minister, you know?
President, on the medal, how far back do you intend to look to consider for the recipients? And then on your call today, if Putin ultimately proves to be the obstacle to peace, is further arming Ukraine on the table at that point?
Well, we'll look. I mean, we're going to look. I hope that, I like to think positively, frankly. I just can't believe that they allow this to continue. This would have never happened if I were president, and most people admit that.
Trump's rambling
and
makes
it didn't
Biden look
happen in
coherent.
4 years. And October 7th would have never happened either. That's the attack on Israel. That would have never happened. So sad, a lot of things wouldn't have happened, but so sad to see it. No, I think that there's a good chance we can get this done. I believe Putin wants to do it. Now, if I thought Putin didn't want, I mean, that's what I do. My whole life is like deals, one big deal. And if I thought that President Putin did not want to get this over with, I wouldn't even be talking about it, because I
believe him when he says that. I believe Trump when he says that.
Confidence that he does want peace versus buying time.
I think he's had enough. I think he's had enough. This has been a long time. This has been going on for more than 3 years. When you think, right? It's been going on for a long time. Yeah, please.
Oh, thank you, Mr. President. When you implored him to stop previously, Vladimir stopped on social media, and he didn't. He just continued. I'm curious, did you bring that up with him in your phone call today?
You have to talk.
Sorry, you previously on Truth Social implored President Putin to stop. You wrote Vladimir stop, and he didn't stop, quite the contrary. I'm curious, did you bring that up on your call with him today?
No, I didn't bring that up, but I did say it's time. You got to stop this thing. And I believe he wants to stop. Look, I would be, I think, very able to tell whether or not he wanted to or what. I thought there was a very good chance, like a 50-50 chance, that he would say, I want to take the whole thing. I didn't know what he was going to say. And then they have a different kind of a problem. But I believe he wants to stop. Pretty sure.
Just now about backing away or walking away if it looks like it's going to be an intractable problem. Do you have a red line in your head of what would cause you to back away? And
Yeah, in my head, but not something I'm going to announce. But yeah, definitely in my head I do, yeah. Because this isn't our war. This is not my war. This is not the war. I mean, we got ourselves entangled in something that we shouldn't have been involved in. And we would have been a lot better off, and maybe the whole thing would have been better off, because it can't be much worse. It's a real mess. It's a death trap. So I think that, yeah, I would say I do have a certain line, but I don't want to say what that line is, because I think it makes the negotiation even more difficult than it is. Yes, please.
Mr. President, thank you all for your sacrifice. I'm so sorry for your loss and everybody. You've mentioned the bloodbath that you want to see end in Ukraine. You mentioned that you believe Putin wants peace, but he just attacked Ukraine yesterday. So what makes you think that he wants peace?
Well, he's in a war, you know. I mean, nobody said don't.
It's a stupid question.
They're attacking. They're
what a
attacking
dumbass
each other.
question. Hold on, like Trump's like, dude, they're in a fucking war. So it's not like, yeah, he wants peace, but he still has to fight the war. They have to figure out, they have to come to an agreement. Like, oh, well, if he wants peace, why is he still fucking warring? Because they're at fucking war. What a dumb question. Dumb
And
bitch.
people are dying all the time. He's in a war. He's fighting a war.
Yeah.
Nobody said he was going to stop. I think, is it terrible? Yeah, it's terrible. I do.
He's so much more patient than I am.
Can you weigh in on
I would have called her a
President
dumb
Biden? President
bitch.
Biden was diagnosed with cancer, the war, and then I want to ask you about reconciliation. Why haven't you increased the sanctions on Russia yet?
Oh, maybe,
well, because I think there's a chance of getting something done. And if you do that, you can also make it much worse.
He knows
but
that's a
there could be
dumbass
time when
question.
that's
He's being
going to happen.
patient
Yep.
with his answer.
President,
Mr.
Who's going to say
with the
go
ratings
go ahead,
downgrade from...
please.
Do you want to respond to President Biden being diagnosed with cancer? Are you going to call your predecessor?
I think it's very sad, actually.
Good night, Red
I'm
Line.
surprised that it wasn't, you know, the public wasn't notified a long time ago, because to get to stage 9, that's a long time.
Yeah, they knew.
I just had my physical. You saw that. You saw the results of that particular test. I think that test is standard to pretty much anybody getting a physical, good physical. We had the doctors at the White House and over at Walter Reed, which is a fantastic hospital. do it. I did a very complete physical, including cognitive test. I'm proud to announce I aced it. Got them all. I got them all right. You proud of me? Yes. Your husband would be proud of me for getting them all right. It's a little risk. If I didn't get them all right, these people would be after me. It would be not a good situation. But I think, frankly, anybody running for president should take a cognitive test. They say it's unconstitutional, but I would say in that particular case, having a cognitive test wouldn't be so bad. But when you take tests, medical, as a male, that test is very standard. I don't know if it's given to everybody, but it's given just about. And it takes a long time to get to that situation. Now, I think, to get to a stage 9, I think that if you take a look, it's the same doctor that said that Joe was cognitively fine. There was nothing wrong with him. Well, he said, if it's the same doctor, he said there was nothing wrong there, and that's being proven to be a sad situation. And the auto pen is becoming a very big deal. The auto pen is becoming a big deal because it seems like that maybe was the president who ever operated the auto pen. But when they say that was not good, they also, you have to look and you have to say then the test was not so good either. In other words, there are things going on that the public wasn't informed. And I think somebody's going to have to speak to his doctor. If it's the same, or even if it's two separate doctors, why wasn't the cognitive ability, why wasn't that discussed? And I think the doctor said he's just fine, and it's turned out that's not so.
Biden's running again, 2028.
This is no longer politically correct. This is dangerous for our country. Look at the mess we're in. You're talking about all these questions on Ukraine and Russia that would have never happened. As an example, if I were president, would have never happened. The other thing is you have to say,
Yellow's my favorite crayon.
Why did it take so long? I mean, this takes a long time. It can take years to get to this level of danger.
Yeah, they knew.
So it's a very, very sad situation, and I feel very badly about it. And I think people should try and find out what happened, because I'll tell you, I don't know if it had anything to do with the hospital. Walter Reed is really good. They're some of the best doctors I've ever seen. I don't even know if they were involved, but a doctor was involved in each case. Maybe it was the same doctor, and somebody is not telling the facts. That's a big problem.
Yeah, they're going to juice him up. He's running again.
Zelensky of Ukraine says the Ukrainians are ready for a ceasefire. They're ready for peace negotiations. In your mind, is Ukraine doing enough to get this peace?
I'd rather tell you in about 2 weeks from now, because I can't say yes or no.
We have to wait 2 weeks?
Look, he's a strong person. Zelensky, a strong guy, and he's not the easiest person to deal with. But I think that he wants to stop. He's not. It's a very bad thing that's happening over there. I think he wants to stop. But I could answer that question better in 2 weeks or 4 weeks from now. I hope the answer is that he wants to get it solved. I want to thank everybody very much. And on behalf of the United States of America, we greatly honor your family and your friends and everybody that had to suffer so much. But you have some 3 great men that are looking down on you, and they're very proud right now. They're very proud. This is the Oval Office, and they're a big part of it now. They're a part of the Oval Office, the White House. And thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff, for coming. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Yep, Biden's running again in 2028. It's the best they got. They don't have anyone else. They're just going to wheelchair him around and have him just... Good enough. People will vote for it anyways. All right. We are almost caught up here. So this is the Kennedy Center board dinner. Here we go. And once we're caught up, starting tomorrow, if Trump is live, I'm live. He won't make it. No, they're going to juice him up with some shit. They're going to use AI, and they're going to come up with something that's going to juice up Biden and keep him alive for 4 more years, and he's going to run for president 2028. And people are going to hate Trump so much they're going to vote for him anyways.
A group of good friends. We're going to bring this place back. It's not so good.
We can't see.
I thought it was going to be this beautiful. I hadn't been there a while. I said this is going to be beautiful. It's not looking too good.
The Golden Dome.
Bring it back. Why don't we sit down? Tell you about our day.
Yeah, get out of the fucking way.
my little conversation with a nice gentleman named Vladimir Putin. But we had a good talk, and I think that progress is being made. 5,000 young soldiers are being killed every single week on average. Can you believe 5,000?
That's insane.
And it's actually a number probably worse than that, in addition to other people that are being killed in towns. And we're trying to stop it. It's a bloodbath.
Whoa, it's a legit fucking war.
Bloodbath. I've seen satellite pictures that are so bad, so horrible, and it's to think that
damn, 5,000
in this
a week.
day and age we're living with this horrible thing that's going on, and we're doing the best we can. This was not our war. This was not me. We're doing something from the last administration. How they allowed that to happen? It wouldn't have happened. It would have never happened. And you know, the Ukraine-Russia wouldn't have happened, but. I'll tell you what else wouldn't have had. October 7th would not have happened. This was a terrible thing also. A lot of bad things happened in the last 4 years. But good things are happening now. We had a tremendous visit in the Middle East. We went to Qatar. We saw Saudi Arabia, all the top people in UAE. And we brought back about $5.1 trillion. That's not bad.
Damn, dude. Yeah, what a W. That's crazy investment.
And
what
being
the fuck?
credited as one of maybe the most successful visit that anybody's ever made to any place. There's never been anything.
There's never
like
been a
this.
president that went there
Hundreds
before.
of planes, big wide-body planes ordered. Boeing, they're getting them from Boeing, but I think an order of 148 planes. That's a lot of 777s. Those are the big ones, or the 787 Dreamliners. And orders of everything. The AI is going wild. I hope it's as good as people say, because otherwise some
thanks
people
for the
are gonna be
$2,
pretty
Zap. I appreciate you.
disappointed, But it seems like it is. A lot of smart people are doing it. But massive orders into our country.
The Golden Dome.
We did 1.4 trillion in one case. We did 2 trillion in another case. Numbers that nobody's ever really heard of before. And our relationship is fantastic with those three beautiful places. I mean, they're incredible. Money is like no place else, probably anywhere. Well, we have more money, but we didn't use it right. But that's all right. Now we're starting to. We were losing in trade $5 billion a day, and now because of tariffs and other things, we're making $1 billion a day, and the tariffs haven't even really kicked in.
I want to see like how that works.
It's a big difference. It was.
I want to see how it works.
Have been a disaster.
I'm
for us
curious. I'm interested.
trade
I'm
and
intrigued.
frankly, with everything else. So.
Like
we're here
seriously,
for
think
a
about it.
different
Like
reason.
so, okay. So with there's tariffs and other things that are happening. So we're losing $5 billion in what, like just our overall country's money from the country's bank account to gaining $1 billion a day. Is that because of Doge and like tariffs and a bunch of other things? I'm not sure, but I want to see like the mechanics behind it. Just let me see it. Let me see. I want to see. I'm curious. I'm not doubting. You know, I'm a believer, but I also want to see how it works. That way, like if I can know how that works, I could explain how it works. But I like, how do the fuck? Where do I go to? Like, how do we see that? How do we see how that's working? I don't know.
And tonight we're going to have to fix this one too. We're fixing everything. We're going around Mr. Fix It, Mrs. Fix It. Anybody want to join me? But the Kennedy Center, when I said I'll do this, I hadn't been there. That's the last time I'll take a job without looking at it. And but it's got a tremendous amount. Lindsey Graham and some people put in the budget either 200 or $250 million. Money was spent there. Tremendous amounts of money was spent there over the last 10 years. I don't know where they spent it. They certainly didn't spend it on wallpaper, carpet, or painting. And they had over $200 million was spent. So I don't know what's going on. Pam, are you here? You hear that? Look, when I hear that, I say, what? Where, Pam, where did all this money go? It's crazy. It's crazy what's happened with our country in that regard. You know, it's to build things. Go back to the Woolman rink. They went for years, 12 years without getting a rink, and I got it built in 3 months for a fraction, like a tiny fraction. They had spent over $20 million. They never got it opened. I said, I want my kids to go ice skating before they're too old. They don't want to go ice skating anymore. I used to watch it from my window. I used to watch people, nobody working, and spending money like crazy. And as you know, I got it built very quickly. This is a well, maybe a more difficult. That was pretty easy, actually. That was pretty. We had cement mixers from the rink all the way back into Harlem. We poured one contiguous pour over a period of a day and a half. They would pour a little section, then another little section, and when they put water, it all leaked. Surprisingly, you know. So it was fun. But I love construction. That's, I guess, why I like this a little, because we're going to have to redo it. So I'm honored to welcome exceptionally talented and committed group of patriots. You're amazing people. This is an amazing board, I'll tell you. And I got so many calls from people, could I get on the board? You have a lot of people that are not so much in love with me right now because I couldn't get them on the board. But because the board is taken. But we're going to turn it around, and the Kennedy Center Board of Trustees, you're here, and in many cases you have your spouses.
Kennedy Center, is that?
And I want to thank Rick Grinnell. Where's Rick?
In Florida? Is that where this is?
Hello,
the
Rick.
Kennedy Center? Where is this?
He did a great job. He used to walk into the Justice Department with stuff under, showing all the horrible things that had gone on in our country. He had a lot of courage, and he's going to be with me for a long time, different things. He seems to be a troubleshooter. I say, how about Kennedy Center? Let's fix that one up. And tremendous strides have been made. You'll be hearing
Oh, yeah,
about
Golden
that in a
Dome is
second.
coming
But
up.
I want to thank the entire
That's right.
board for the incredible work.
I forgot about it.
All the
I thought
fundraising
you guys were
efforts. We're going to raise some funds, but we're getting a
Guys. When you guys were saying Golden Dome the whole time, I just kept thinking, I thought you guys were talking about Trump's head. And I'm like, hell yeah, Golden Dome. Bro, but no, actually there's a Golden Dome like defense thing that we're having on our country, apparently, that they're going to talk about later.
A lot of funds also from Congress because they want to see this thing good. You know, we have the 250th year anniversary coming up, and this building is going to be a primary focus in D.C., and it's got the potential for greatness. If it didn't, I wouldn't have done it. But it has a great plan. It's got great sound. It's got a lot of things that, you know, if you don't have good sound, you can forget it. You're never going to. They've been trying to do things over at the at Lincoln Center. All my life, I've been watching. They rip it down, build it up, rip it down. You know, some of the greatest sound of buildings built in the 1850s out of pure marble. And you get up and you can just talk lightly, and they hear you back 100 rows. But and if you don't have sound, I think there's a certain amount of luck. You hire sound engineers, they get a lot of money, and then you open the building and you can't hear anything. So we're going to do some good things, but the basics are there. The location is phenomenal. The importance of the building is phenomenal. And we'll have some very interesting plans. I always thought they should have built a beautiful performing center, open air, facing out over the Potomac. They didn't do that. They built these crazy rooms underneath. They built 3 tiny little stages, very expensive. Someday, maybe somebody will occupy one. They're underground. In fact, when I looked from a distance, you know, you see these like hubs, concrete hubs, and I thought it was modern art. You know, well, here we go with the modern art blocking everybody's view. And when I actually went over there, I said, no, it wasn't modern art. It was meant for a door to be in, so you go down to these rooms. So I don't know what the hell they were doing, but they spent a lot of money.
I'm thinking of, I mean, I don't know. What is this? What this whole, I don't think this is announcing the Golden
It's
Dome.
done fantastically.
There's about 30 more minutes of him just fucking yapping, bro. And I'm thinking he has a cooler speech that he literally did like hours ago.
It was, I said, you know, let's use Susie. She did a great job in Florida for me twice. We beat every Democrat by numbers that they never saw.
He's just being an old grandpa telling stories right now. As much as I would love to listen to that, this is what we really want. This is the President Trump makes an announcement with Secretary of Defense. Let's hear it. This is what we're here for.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being here.
Golden
in the
Dome.
office, one of the great places of the world, as we make a historic announcement about the Golden Dome Missile Defense Shield. That's something we want.
Let's go.
And Ronald Reagan wanted it many years ago, but they didn't have the technology. But
We have it now.
We're going to have it at the highest level. I want to thank Secretary Hegseth, who's been fantastic, and Secretary Rubio, and Space Force Vice Chief of Space Operations, General Mike Gutlein.
Big back.
Senators Dan Sullivan, Kevin Kramer, and Jim Banks, fantastic senators, great talents, great political talents, and people that love our country. In the campaign, I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack.
How does it work?
And that's what we're doing. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. And Canada has called us, and they want to be a part of it. So we'll be talking to them. They want to have protection also.
And those fucking tariffs. Oh, wait, they did, right? Didn't they end them already? Canada ended like all of them already.
This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space. And we will have the best system ever built. As you know, we helped Israel with theirs, and it was very successful, and now we have technology that's even far advanced from that, but including hypersonic missiles, ballistic missiles, and advanced cruise missiles. All of them will be knocked out of the air. We will truly be completing the job that President Reagan started 40 years ago, forever ending the missile threat to the American homeland, and the success rate is very close to 100%, which is incredible when you think of it. You're shooting bullets out of the air. I'm also pleased to report that the one big, beautiful bill will include $25 billion for the Golden Dome to help construction get underway. That's the initial sort of a down deposit. And we have
a good investment.
We're talking about, General, we're talking about $175 billion total cost of this when it's completed. This afternoon,
that's
I'm
pricey.
also announcing that I will appoint, very importantly, General Gutlein to lead the ambitious new effort as the direct reporting program manager for the Golden Dome. A very talented man, and I'm very honored to have been the one that helped or really created Space Force. Space Force has turned out to be a tremendous success. We were third in space, and now we're number one in space by a lot. It's not even close.
Because of Elon.
Mike is a 4-star Space Force general, the recipient of the Defense Distinguished Service Medal, one of the most respected people in the world having to do with defense. You know, we have offense and we have defense. I'll bet he's good at offense. And he has an unmatched background in missile warning technology and defense procurement. General Gutlein also knows that we need to move fast. No one is more qualified for his job, and everybody, this was a universal acceptance of General Gutlein. Everybody that knows him and knows everybody else, they said there's only one man for the job, so I have a feeling we have the right guy. But now I'd like to invite Secretary Hegseth and the General to please say a few words and describe the system a little bit. And we appreciate you being here. And the press has really been very fair over the last period of a couple of months. I don't know what happened to you. It was so much more exciting the other way. But you've been very, very fair. We have very high poll numbers, the highest we've ever had. And
some would say the very highest.
We had a tremendous trip to the Middle East, as you know. It was a really amazing trip. And now I came home, and this is the one I was really looking forward to this day, because this is very important for the success and even survival of our country. It's a pretty evil world out there, so this is something that goes a long way toward the survival of this great country. And as I said, we'll be discussing Canada. They want to hook in, and they want to see if they can be a part of it. That sort of makes sense. I guess that's what I was talking about from day one. You know, it just automatically makes sense.
Oh yeah, Trump 100% exaggerates all the time. He's a pro bullshitter.
Thank you very much, everybody. And Pete, go ahead.
All presidents are pro bullshitters.
Add this to the long and growing list of promises made and promises kept.
Promises made, promises kept.
This right here, the Golden Dome for America, is game changer.
Bro, I want some Golden Dome right now.
Generational investment in the security of America and Americans. Mr. President, you said we're to secure our southern border and get 100% operational control after the previous administration allowed an invasion of people into our country. President Reagan 40 years ago cast the vision for it. The technology wasn't there. Now it is, and you're following through to say we will protect the homeland.
So this is the original Star Wars, right? Because that's what it was called with Reagan. Reagan had he wanted to do Star Wars to protect us from missiles from space. There's supposed to, you know, be some sort of defense system. So yeah, I don't think there's any like tech for this right now, but spending 100 or 200 million dollars on it, or whatever it was, 125 million on it, will definitely start moving us in the direction of potentially having defenses for it. You know, even hypersonic missiles. I mean, it's a tall order, right? It's a tall order. Like, how the fuck do you stop that, let alone like multiple of them? But like, you'll never be able to unless you actually try and solve the problem, even if it's fucking hard as shit. You know, I mean, that's how they took 10 cans and put them on the moon. Like that technology was fucking sketchy. Okay, that they got those guys on the moon with, that was sketchy, and they did that shit, dude. So I don't know. I mean, we've come a long way technology wise. We have AI and stuff that can help speed things up. There's possibilities to try and counter those types of weapons. And I'd rather try and develop ways to do it than not, and just say, oh, well, I guess we don't have that. Might as well never try to make it. That's stupid as fuck, whoever thinks that.
From cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, hypersonic missiles, drones, whether they're conventional or nuclear. It's not lost on me, sir, also that you had the vision to start the Space Force. And here we are, when the others said we didn't need it, here we are in the Oval Office with one of the leaders of the Space Force in General Gutlein, leading the charge on putting in place a game-changing Golden Dome for America. So, sir, it's an honor to be a part of this bold initiative.
Bro, I would rejoin the military if I can join the Space Force and go to fucking space and be like a space marine or something. I'd 100% rejoin and do that. Just because, fuck it, dude. What else am I doing? I'll go up there and I'll be a Space Force fucking YouTuber.
We're going to get to work on it. We have been since you signed that executive order on January 27th. We've been fast forward on this. We're here on this day, and this is just one stop in delivering this defense of the homeland, which is something you've charged us with doing, and we'll keep going until it is complete, sir.
Thank you, Pete. Pete's doing a great job, by the way. Thank you very much. General, please.
Mr. President, today is a great day for the nation as we double down on protection of the homeland. As you're aware, our adversaries have become very capable and very intent on holding the homeland at risk.
Yeah.
We have been focused on keeping the peace overseas. Our adversaries have been quickly modernizing their nuclear forces, building out ballistic missiles capable of hosting multiple warheads, building out hypersonic missiles capable of attacking the United States within an hour and traveling at 6,000 miles an hour, building cruise missiles that can navigate around our radar and our defenses, and building submarines that can sneak up on our shores, and worse yet, building space weapons. It is time that we change that equation and start doubling down on the protection of the homeland. Golden Dome is a bold and aggressive approach to hurry up and protect the homeland from our adversaries. We owe it to our children and our children's children to protect them and afford them a quality of life that we have all grown up enjoying. Golden Dome will afford that. I greatly appreciate your trust in me and your nomination in me and your trust in the team to deliver this. It is a great day for America.
And also, very importantly, we're the only ones that have this, we call it super technology. Nobody else has it. And nobody else has really near what we have. So this is a very
We'll see. I don't know, dude. China's pretty crafty. They steal shit.
Generals at close to 100% protection. So that's something we need. I think it's and everything's going to be made in the USA, by the way, very importantly. So it's something that I've been looking forward to for a long time. And I just noticed you two, Jim, you're standing there, and behind you is a very important document, Declaration of Independence.
He loves showing that thing off, dude.
For many decades right under this area. They have vaults with pictures on top. You have Abraham Lincoln. You see, that was the original Abraham Lincoln, the original Washington. And does everybody know who the middle was? General Grant. And so it's very exciting. You look over here, and above Ronald Reagan, you have Thomas Jefferson. That's Monroe from the Monroe document. And you know what that is, right? Andrew Jackson. So we have a lot of very exciting pictures, and on the other side, likewise. So
he loves showing off everything in there, dude.
Great presidents and great people. Many of these, because people were asking about them, many of them, almost all of them, were in the vaults or nearby, but generally in the vaults downstairs. Well, we have some great. So it's very exciting. And
so there is vaults downstairs.
Different than you first saw, Jim, right?
Yes, much better.
You just gave us intel.
But to think
There's
we had
tunnels
them
down there.
somewhere in the vaults for over 100 years, so it's pretty cool stuff. Everybody knows Jim Banks. He's a great congressman, and now he's a great senator from Indiana. And you might want to say a few words.
Well, your legacy with Space Force, Mr. President, is already big, but the Golden Dome is going to be an even bigger legacy for our country. And Indiana is going to help you make it.
Right.
The space satellites that are made in Fort Wayne, Indiana by L3 Harris, all the work done at Crane Navy Base in southern Indiana is going to be a big part of it. And Hoosiers are very proud of that. We're proud of you. Thank you very much.
It'll be a big factor. Thank you, and good luck, and congratulations. You won that race by a lot. That wasn't even a contest, right?
Well, thanks to you and all of your support.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Please go ahead. You missed that. This is Senator Kramer, and he's one of our best. Can't get any better. Go ahead.
Well, you're very nice, Mr. President, and thanks for this. And I remember the day in your first term when you called, and I was a brand new baby freshman senator on the Armed Services Committee, and you said, I want to have a Space Force. Would you lead the effort on the Senate Armed Services
Force?
And I felt so proud thinking that you chose me, only to find out later no one else would do it. But nonetheless, it worked out really, really, really well because North Dakota has some great space assets that contribute to that and to Golden Dome. No surprise that you would be the president that would come along and put the homeland first. And this is just one more example of that. So thanks for this and for allowing me this opportunity. And by the way, let me just add my strong endorsement of General Goodline's role in leading this. I don't know anybody better, for sure, better equipped to do it than he is.
Everybody said that.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
Dan Sullivan, Alaska, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you for your continued leadership on missile defense. We were talking earlier how in 2019 at the Pentagon, you laid out a speech about the Missile Defense Review that had all these principles on missile defense you articulated then during your first term, and now the Golden Dome is all of that. So you're continuing to lead. We really appreciate it. The Congress is stepping up, as you mentioned right now in the Budget Reconciliation Bill, $25 billion for the Golden Dome. And what Senator Kramer and Senator Banks and I and many others, we're working on and I briefed you on this before, sir.
Subscribe, motherfuckers, that's right.
Which we think will have, in terms of legislation that can help cement what you're doing right here, getting the Congress behind it, not just with the funding, but with authorization. So we're working closely with Secretary Hegseth, General Gutlein, and the whole team. So we're very honored to be here, sir. And Alaska is the cornerstone of missile defense right now in terms of ground-based missile interceptors, in terms of radar systems and track incoming missiles. So my state is honored to continue to play a critical role in all of this and build on it. And we're really excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan. Great. Any questions?
Mr. President, you had mentioned at the beginning of your remarks that this was a campaign promise of yours. Have military commanders asked for this system specifically? Because NORAD had said previously that the current system was adequate. So what does this get the United States
Somebody said the
isn't
current
already
system is
in
adequate.
before?
There really is no current system. We have certain areas of missiles and certain missile defense, but there's no system. We just have some very capable weapons that hopefully we never have to use, but we have some very capable weapons. Now, this is a different league. There's never been anything like this. This is something that's going to be very protective. I think you can rest assured there'll be nothing like this. Nobody else is capable of building it either. Please go ahead.
I wouldn't underestimate other countries.
To do this?
Well, let me put it differently. I suggested it, and they all said, "We love the idea, sir." It's the way it's got to be, right? But they want it, and they wanted it badly once it was suggested. I don't know if they ever thought they would be lucky enough to have it, but we were able to get it done, and we have all the funding, so pretty much tucked away. I think most people feel it's very important to have. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. When you first announced this idea, critics said it would be prohibitively expensive, potentially ineffective, and could trigger an arms race in space. What do you say to those critics about that?
Well, they're wrong. It's about as close to perfect as you can have in terms of real production. I told you Canada wants to be a part of it, which be, fairly small expansion, but we'll work with them on pricing. We'll be dealing with them on pricing.
Unsubbed you? Maybe it's because it's a different channel. This is my newest small channel.
Us to be a part of it. I think it's something that is great. If you can afford to do it, we can afford to do it. You know, we took in $5.1 trillion in the last 4 days in the Middle East. And when you think about it, that's a tiny fraction of that. But we make it all here. We're going to make it all here. We have, when I will tell you, an adversary told me, a very big adversary told me the most brilliant people in the world are Silicon Valley. He said, we cannot duplicate, and we can't. This was somebody that I won't tell you who it is, but you'd be amazed. We have the most brilliant minds in the world doing this kind of thing, the equipment, the space, the computers, everything. But
Because we're getting the smartest people from everywhere else, too.
What you have there,
paying them a lot of money.
We never have been able to, and there's a very strong group of people and very strong minds, but they can't. So we have things that nobody else can have. You see what we've done helping Israel with that. You probably wouldn't have an Israel. They launched
CNS and gaming.
probably 500
Trump should be wrapping up
missiles
soon.
altogether, and I think 1/2 of a missile got through, and that was only falling to the ground as scrap metal. It's pretty amazing, and this is in terms of technology far advanced from that system.
And just one follow-up on the adversaries. Have you addressed Russia's ventures in space with a space-based nuclear weapon and told Putin to stop in your conversations with him?
We haven't discussed it, but at the right time we will. Yeah.
Mr. President, with the goal of keeping Americans safe with this, can you talk about the timeline? How long will this take to complete?
We think it's going to be about a little bit less than 3 years, and we'll have a big phase-in very early. You know, we're starting immediately with $25 billion. It'll cost about $175 billion completed, but we think in 2.5 to 3 years.
Are you confident that you can get the funding needed from Congress quickly?
Yeah. It's amazing how easy this one is to fund. You know, some funding is tough and some is easy. When we say we're going to save everyone's lives in a crazy world, it seems to be very easy to get. Yeah, we've already spoken to everybody we have to speak to. Everybody's in, I would say, Dan, everybody's in line here, right?
Yes, sir. $25 billion is a down payment in the budget reconciliation bill right now.
Yeah, so I think
Mr. President, on Russia,
people actually love it.
Mr. President, on Russia, are you worried about the reports on a military buildup along the borders towards Finland and Norway?
No, I don't worry about that at all. They're going to be very safe. Those are two countries that are going to be very safe.
And the secondly, sir, if I may, Volodymyr Zelensky is saying today that he's hoping for you to impose new sanctions on Russia. Are you considering that?
Well, that's going to be my determination. That's going to be nobody else's determination. We'll see how Russia behaves. We see what's going to happen. You know, we have a pretty critical time right now. I had a talk yesterday for 2.5 hours with President Putin, as you know. I also spoke to all of the European, or to many of them, leaders, but they were representing the whole. And I think we had very good conversations yesterday. Please.
Thanks, Mr. President. What companies have asked to be involved in building this system, and have you decided on who will be building it?
Yeah, I think I'll let you answer that. You can mention some of yours from Alaska's involved, and Alaska is a big part of it because locationally they're sort of perfect. I think that's your first line of defense in certain instances. And Kevin will tell you that his state's involved, but honestly, Georgia's going to be very big. Florida's going to be very big. They're all going to be very big. Jim, do you want to talk about Indiana?
Yeah, in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where I live, we make all the space satellites at L3 Harris. Across the board, we're the top manufacturing state in the country. By the way, the tariffs have been very good for auto manufacturing.
They've been so good.
But this is going to be really good for the defense industry in my state. And there's so much money involved here. There are going to be a lot of American companies involved in making the Golden Dome.
You might also say, you're talking about the tariffs. Here's some of the biggest auto plants in the world moving into Indiana, only for one reason, maybe two reasons: November 5th and the tariffs. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But the tariffs have driven tremendous business into this country. But you have one of the biggest in the world being built.
The Honda Civics,
right?
The new Honda Civic made in Indiana. GM has added jobs. Eli Lilly moving pharmaceutical manufacturing from China to the United States, $27 billion. You go on and on with good news in Indiana and across the country because of the tariffs.
Our country was cold as ice a year ago, and now we have the hottest country in the world. This is the hottest country in the world. Nobody even close. If you look at even this last trip that I made, the respect that is paid to our country. We've went from being laughed at all over the world, and now we're the hottest country in the world by far. Dan, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
There we go.
I think when you look at the system that
That's
you
done
laid
standing.
out, it's an idea in your executive order of a layered defense. So you have initial ground-based missile interceptors, which are made by some of the big defense companies, Lockheed, Martin, Raytheon. But the beauty of
Wasn't
your
responding
vision,
comments.
Mr.
I honestly
President,
have not read any
is that
comments in a
it's
minute. I was
layered,
fucking with my
it's
camera.
open architecture, and it goes up into space. So this is going to be some of the new
But also, I'm just letting these guys talk. I'm just listening to them.
defense tech companies that are very interested in it and can bring missile defense at a cost that I don't think, you said it, Mr. President, is unimaginable in terms of how much lower the cost is. So it's all across the board in terms of companies. Senator Kramer and I just met with a bunch from last week that are interested in this. And you said it earlier, Mr. President, our technology sector is head and shoulders above any other place in the world, and they're going to be a key part of this.
Orange Dome.
That's what makes it so exciting.
Orange
I think one of the things
Dome.
and you alluded to this, the
That
new
would be epic.
autonomous
Missed opportunity.
Space-age defense ecosystem is more about Silicon Valley than it is about big metal, right? And so what's exciting about this is it makes it available to everybody to participate, to compete. Big companies, mid-sized companies, small companies, but General Goodline is the perfect person again to sort all that out because he understands how it has to work together ultimately.
And Pete, maybe we'll close with you. We have been discussing this for a long time. Peter and I used to discuss it when I was going to go on a show that he did very well and had tremendous ratings, but all he wanted to talk about was the military. He didn't want to talk about anything else. We used to talk about this.
What's up, Imperial Red? I see you in the Twitch
closing
chat.
it out?
Yes, sir. I mean, like I said, without your vision, willing to say and do things when other people wanted to look away and pretend like the threat didn't exist, or be focused on foreign adventurism, some other threat that we've been told is affecting us. When you looked at the data, sir, from Russia to the Communist Chinese and other
Orange Dome,
capabilities,
just
what they're trying
imagine.
to do to
That'd be so
supersede
funny.
us and threaten us, how do we find the best innovators, the best military leaders, the best companies, tech companies? You mentioned open architecture. That's exactly right. So multiple companies can pour into this, sir. It's a layered defense. So if you miss at one, you catch at the next. And it integrates existing technologies that can speak to each other. So it moves quickly while also investing in further ranging space-based interceptors. So our enemies, our adversaries are going to pay a lot of attention to this, just like they have to President Trump from day one. Sir, you're defending the homeland, defending the American people. It's going to benefit my kids, grandkids, all of ours in this room.
Glaze
Thanks
it.
for your leadership. We're
That's
gonna
right,
do
bro.
as best as we can.
You glaze that Trump dog, hot dog.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. But it sounds sick.
Thank you, President.
Oh,
No
no.
cuts.
Thank
No
you, everybody.
cuts to
Thank you,
Medicare.
President.
No cuts to Medicare.
All right. Well, we're all caught up, dudes. That's it. So we'll see what they do tomorrow. But that was hours ago in the Oval Office with Trump. So I just wanted to do a test stream back today, so we got caught up on some of these Trump streams. He's the content president for sure, dude. Today wasn't super juicy. Today was just hey, we did get the deep fakes bill signed. That's pretty cool. Everyone agrees that that's good. New medals for these fallen officers, and there may be potential for retroactively giving medals to fallen officers. I think that would be pretty sick. And see that we skipped out on the dinner. He was just being Grandpa Trump there. Skipped out on the press secretary speaking. And then we went to our new defense news, which is interesting. I'm super curious because it's like really hard. I've looked into like the capabilities of other countries, and they could launch thousands of nukes at once, you know, or I don't know how many each side has right now, but I bet both sides are lying. But you launch a certain amount of nukes all at the same time, and it's like and they're all like really fast. So how do you stop them all? So I mean, someone in the chat earlier was like, "Oh yeah, like we don't even have the technology for this. This is stupid." And I'm just like, well, I mean, they just said they're going to invest over $100 billion into developing it. What are you talking about? So it's like, that's not about us having it now. It's about us investing in having it for ourselves so we could protect ourselves from incoming missiles and stuff, which I think is good. But yeah, I don't know. I think at some point, like, you could just point so many missiles at one place, and there's only so much protection you can have. I don't know. So we'll see what types of problems they solve with it. But yeah, I'm gonna be back live. I'll stream some more Trump shit tomorrow. Trump's live, I'm live. That's what I'm gonna try and do. What I'm gonna do now is change things over to my gaming channel. So if you want to stick around on YouTube, I'm going to raid my other channel, which I'm going to go live on here shortly. But I have to figure out what game I want to play. I'm not sure what that's going to be. I could finish Doom. I haven't finished it yet. So I guess I could just do that. Doom's pretty badass. We could slaughter everything. I don't really feel like playing Expedition 33. I already beat it. I do have to play this game, Atomfall. I could play that. Supposed to be good. Oh, I got an update. Okay. I guess that the whole app has to update. Okay. I'm thinking I'll just finish up with Doom. I think I'll do that. Finish up with Doom. I think I have a Doom thumbnail ready to go, so I don't even have to worry about that. Let's set it up. All right, give me a second here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to set up a Doom stream. I'm going to raid from... So it should be seamless for you guys. It should send you from one stream to the other. Right? That's what is supposed to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and go live. Doom, Dark Ages. Let me just make sure. Oh, yeah, we got everything. Everything's good to go. I can just go live on that. So I'm going to do that now. Go live on Stanimus Gaming. We're just going to do a vertical stream. No wide today. All right, so we should be live over there now. Now I should be able to go into the settings. Let's see, customization, redirect. Search. Okay, here we go. Doom. Dark Ages short stream. So it should, maybe it'll prompt you or something. I'm not entirely sure. But when I end this stream, it should ask you guys or send you automatically over to the Doom stream. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end that now. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll see what if we do like more cool current event streams and stuff tomorrow. Let's see what I have time for.